Hey there, welcome to day 11 of our Get Up and Go challenge. We're going to be talking about our physical well-being, and we're going to apply the SOAP framework to it today. Now, I added my face on steroids as the filter. I don't know if I can look at myself while I'm doing it. I probably won't. But we're going to talk about our physical well-being and the S part of our SOAP framework. S stands for, we talked about it briefly yesterday, our story or our situation. What is our current story and situation? We have to get really honest with ourselves and talk about what is my current physical, anything with respect to physical situation. And then after we look at that and we get honest and we write that down, what is my desired story and situation? What do I want my physical health, my physical well-being to be like? What do I want it to look like? We need to know where we are and where we want to go so we can determine how do we fill in that gap. What do we need to do to get from where we are to where we want to go? We can't get to where we want to go. We can't take that first step toward what we want if we don't know what we want is. So let's use me as an example. What is my current physical story besides this terrible looking steroid type of a filter that I put on my video today? Let's think since COVID. Since COVID started a year ago now, I've gained weight. I've gained some COVID weight. I have increased stress in different areas and aspects of my life, especially since I'm not hanging out with my granddaughter every day. I noticed that things bug me a little bit more than they used to when I was rolling with her every day, because I had her and I had things to think about, and I had a structure to what I was doing that I needed to stick to so I could get the things I need to get done and want to get done in my life done, in addition to being able to spend an amazing amount of time with her. My morning and my evening and some of my daytime routines had to be adjusted and changed, and then they've changed back, and some of them, I will hate to admit, but they've actually slipped. And things that I've done for a while that have been really, really helpful for me pre-COVID, I've let slip a little bit. I think in terms of my daily exercise routine and things, I actually broke my exercise bike this winter, and instead of getting a new one, since shopping was a pain and I didn't want to buy one online, and I suppose I should have, I didn't replace that, so I had to find other activities that I don't think were quite as effective for me. And I'm a warm baby. I like to be warm, so that was my excuse for not going out and walking in the snow as much as I normally would. So that's my current story, and I'm not where I want to be, right? Usually our current story gets our attention because we're not where we want to be. The situation we're in right now isn't where we want to be. I'm not where I want to be. Well, what do I want? How do I want to be? How do I want to show up in the world with respect to my physical health? Because physical is all about our health, our nutrition, our what we're eating, our energy, our hydration. Are we getting enough water and things? So what do I want my desired life to be like? Well, I got these really cute pair of jeans I want to fit back into that I haven't been able to fit into for a while. I've got less energy than I want to have, new baby in the household, and my daughter just had my second granddaughter. My son and my daughter each have a daughter now, and I don't have the energy that I have normally had before COVID to keep up with the kids. I hung out with my 4-year-old granddaughter, who's now 4, when she was an infant as well, and I had a lot more energy back then. I was running an Italian food business, hanging out with her, and doing all kinds of other things. And I'm just finding that, yeah, I'm 5 years older, but that's no excuse. I should still have at least the same amount of energy, flexibility, movement, physical stamina, and things. And I want to be back to my ideal weight. The ideal weight for me, I want to make sure I'm drinking enough water, that I'm eating the foods that give me the energy and the things that I need. So I want to revamp and take better care of myself physically so that I have optimum energy to do the things I want to do with whoever I want, whenever I want. So that's where I am and where I want to be. The story we're telling ourselves. Now, the framework I like to use, and the tool we're going to use to do this today, and I didn't just demonstrate it, I just blurted it out, is what I call the journalistic or the journalism framework. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Why do I like this one? Well, I was in journalism a long time ago, and it was a framework or a way of investigating something and describing a situation or a story in a way that covered all the bases, right? If you ask who, what, where, when, why, and how, you make sure you don't miss anything when you're writing the story. And this is your story, your situation. So you want to be able to get the facts, right? You want the facts. Remember back when journalism was actually about real information, real stories, real facts, the who, what, where, when, why, and how. I remember that. I actually remember when that was the case. So what I do and what I'm inviting you to do today is to actually grab a piece of paper or your journal for this particular challenge and just write what your situation is now, answering the questions who, what, where, when, why, and how, and then what you want your situation to be, answering the questions who, what, where, when, why, and how, right? And we're not going to know all the how, because how we get from the story we're telling ourselves right now to the story and what we want our story to be, that's what the rest of the SOAP framework is all about. So don't get bogged down in the how right now, but just, you can think, well, how? Use the SOAP framework, right? So who is it about? Well, now it's about me, and in the future it's about me, because it's about my physical health and well-being. What is it? My physical wealth and well-being. And I want to talk about here what is actually going on. Sort of like I summarized a minute or two ago about the difference between where I am now, and that's kind of looking at the past, because I have been in perfect health in the past, right? And so if you have been, and even if you haven't been, it helps you to remember and to decide what you want your desired state to be, what you want. And so I'm going to do this for where, Hudson, Wisconsin, because that's where I'm geographically located. I'm not going to be somewhere else, so that doesn't really change. When am I going to start? When am I going to start working on this? Well, today, immediately. I'm going to find something I can do today immediately to address the situation. And actually, just doing this activity is addressing the situation. That's taking action and doing something about it. Just identifying where you are right now and where you want to be it's automatically going to move you toward what you want. Even if you don't consciously do something, your subconscious will start saying, oh, that's what you want. You want to have more energy. You want to weigh 120 pounds or 115 pounds. Oh, you want to do this. Well, we've done that before. We can do that again. Here's the things we need to do to make that happen. And we'll talk about that tomorrow in the O of our SOAP framework. But just fill this out and see if that framework doesn't help you be really honest with your situation right now and what you want your situation to be. And make sure that you cover all the who, what, where, and why, and how. And then we'll, over the next few days, go through this example in detail. I'll pick which area I'm going to work on in my life, because, of course, all the physical aspects, you can't really do them simultaneously and see if they're working for you or not. So I'll pick something, either nutrition, hydration, energy, exercise and movement, maybe something else. I'll think about that. And then I'll share mine. And what I'd like you to do for an action item today is just share one sentence in the comments below that talks about either your current or your desired situation, or a combination of both. It's entirely up to you. You can use more than one sentence if you want, but I want you to know that we can keep it simple. You only need one sentence to describe this. You don't have to share your whole who, what, where, when, why, and how framework, unless, of course, you want to, and then please go ahead and do that. If you'd like feedback on it, ask for feedback. If you'd like questions or whatever, that way I, as well as other people, can give you feedback if you're open to that. That's it. That is our physical S for today. Any questions, hit me up in the comments below. I promise I will never use this filter again. It literally reminds me of what my face looked like when I was on steroids. I had, in my early 20s, I had health challenges, and I was bedridden, and I was on steroids, and so my face had this big, it wasn't this sculptured, it was like chubby and fat chipmunk cheeks, and it wasn't very appealing. So I promise not to use this filter again. Go out, have an awesome day. If I can help you, ask in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. We're going to talk about the O of our physical SOAP framework. Have a great day.